So this is for the May 26th meditation. And I did about an hour of meditation today. I set the alarm for 45 minutes, but my computer was on mute, so I didn't know. So it came up to be 1 hour when I came to and opened my eyes. But the quality of today's meditation is so different from the past 2 days, where the past 2 days it felt like was a lot of processing of fear, very consciously setting that intention to process that fear, whatever that was coming up, either in my body or something that just the mind wants to feed to the body, or the mind wants to feed to, or not just the heart, but make it known, like the child screaming, complaining. She wants to be heard. And today, before the meditation, I thought, I'm going to experiment a little today because it feels like I've done enough feeling the fear, that type of meditation, for the past couple of times that, I'm going to experiment with something, with, let's say a trouble that I'm having in life. And so I thought, okay, the experiment for my connection with my heart, and the question that I want to ask my heart today would be about uh, the parking violation that I got from the city of Mountain View a couple of weeks ago, and it's due, I think, tomorrow. And I have it right here. It's a parking violation. Maybe I shouldn't show you this. It's got my license plate number, but I was struggling with this so much because I have no problem paying it, but I've not been able to pay this violation because it says so in the back, where you're supposed to be able to go online to this website, the P-Ticket website, and you can pay using Visa. If you type in your license plate number, if you type in the citation number, you can pay Visa, and you wouldn't have to pay another 50 some cents to mail this in. And I was checking the site week by week, and my citation just didn't show up. And I called the number that was listed on here, and it's all automated. And I punched in my license plate number and also the citation number in the system, and it still said that it hasn't been entered, where they couldn't find a record of it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna not pay it. But something felt really uneasy about it. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna meditate on that today. And as the meditation started, of course, it started out with, there are some things in the mind where it just needs to get out to get settled in. Like, it still started with, unease in the body, and okay, where in the body am I feeling the nowness of things, like using that technique of scanning the body to get into the moment. And then I started feeding all these sort of thoughts again, negative thoughts of fear, started to spit those out, and just to allow the heart to open to that. And the heart today is like, you don't really need to do this artificially. You don't really need just conjure things up for me to process. So let's just get to it. And so yeah, and so okay, so I that's what I did. Okay, Heart. I have trouble paying this citation because you know it's like why should I pay when they're not holding their end of the bargain, as in they said I could pay online, and it ends up I have to, you know, spend time and energy on checking online, on checking if my information, my citation's been entered into the system, and why do I have to be the one who calls and tells them that wait a minute, you're not doing your job of putting citations into the system, so why should I pay? Um, and it's like, why, of all the times, of course, my mind's going, of all the times that I've been a good girl, moving my car within the 2 hour limit, and like just one time I go over some, I get a citation. So it's just the voices of, oh, it's not fair, I've been good, this is it's not extortion, but just this is unfair, this is not right, and uh, they shouldn't make me call customer service and figure out what's going on, and I should be able to just not pay if they're not doing their job right. And so, it's just the content, you understand, everybody understands the content like that. I just kept going with it. Like complain, 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 blame, blame, blame. Okay. And then to a certain point I feel like, okay, my complaint feels complete. So I said, okay, Heart, what do you think? And surprisingly, the Heart gave me an imagery, or what it's not that the Heart gave me the imagery, but I think that the feeling tone, like the Heart sent me an energy, a feeling, where it got translated into the story. I don't know where I heard it, but the story of a couple who was stopped by police, where the woman was actually in labor, about to give birth, and so they were speeding, and the police stopped them. And of course, once the police saw that the couple were in labor, of course they were quickly escorted to the hospital. And actually, I think the woman gave birth to her child in the police car. And so for some reason that story came up, but not only that, but the feeling tone of it. Like, you think about the police where um, in these days, the public conception and how we view them is so linked to police brutality that we forget that these things happen, like these moments of gratitude is still very ingrained in the everyday stories of the police department. And so, you know, that made me realize that that's the same story as the people behind the parking citations, where it's not just the stories of people getting citations, it's also the stories of people leaving the stalls after the time limit, the 2 hour time limit, so that other people can use the stall. So I have been benefited by this rule many, many times. The lunch hour, rush hour, weekends, on Saturdays. I think Sunday is free for all in Mountain View, but Saturdays, I benefit during lunchtime or afternoons, where I just want to go to the bookstore, or I want to go somewhere, and I benefit from this rule. And because of the other people who also got citations paying their citations, they're able to support the patrol who sort of enforces it, so that I can get a parking lot, or I can get a parking space, or a parking lot. I can get a parking space uh, during rush hour. And so it's just the other side of it is me giving back. But I think what I got out of this meditation is sort of when that heart energy comes into um, the story changes, and it's like, you know, the 50 some cents that I'm paying for, mailing the check, it just no longer matters. And sort of the fact that some people are not doing their jobs and entering the citation in the system, just it fades away. It doesn't matter, because what do I know? Maybe the citation officer is in labor. Maybe the citation officer had the day off after and forgot to, you know, enter this in. I don't know. And do I care? Not really. It's really not of consequence once I'm in that heart space. So that was interesting. Don't want to spend too much energy on that, because what happened after, as I sort of just feel good again about the citation, um, it's back to, okay, so heart, now what? I'm sitting here in meditation. We've got the citation covered, so I'm just going to keep complaining, I guess, about my life, about how this, meditation center idea is never going to happen. Nothing's going to do right by me, and I'm going to have to effort, and nothing's going to come to fruition, blah, blah, blah. And the heart today, it's like, just let me speak about my desire. As I enter these complaints to the heart today, it's not like there isn't compassion, but today is just like the heart's going, okay, I get it. Or how I interpret the heart is, yeah, there's not a, okay, I approve of it or I don't approve of it. It just is. But I could just feel like the quality of the heart today is so playful and wanting to just expand and have fun in this. So I could feel, okay, I could feel that energy. So let's sort of use that energy uh, for the meditation center that I was dreaming up. And then little by little, it's like feeling into the energy of the heart. Ideas started to flow through the mind, like visual and sensory ideas started to flow through the mind. And it's amazing how all these different ideas started to pop up. Like, there's just so many, and they're not just ideas. They're ideas with emotional impact behind them. Like, they're the ones that I really feel warmth and excitement around. And it feels really, really good. It started out with like just a nice meditation room, and then it expanded to, oh, what the reception looks like, and then expanded to, oh, what the meditation cafe looks like, and then expanded to, whoa, what the the individual and the group meditation rooms look like and feel like. I think it's that feeling that's so important. And then it started out, even before that, it was just a little meditation space. And then it became a meditation center. And at a certain point, the mind's going, meditation center, are you kidding me? It's like, what? Like, I'm here stuck in my room and I'm thinking about a meditation center, dreaming about a meditation center. Are you nuts? Right? How is that ever going to happen? It's like the how mind wants to come in, but the heart is like, let's just play with this. Let's just play. Let's just have fun. I don't know. It's just what the heart wants, and I just had fun playing with it. Like, it was giving me the feelings of it, and the mind was doing its job, in sort of coming up with imageries and interpreting it into words, and sort of the visualization of it. It was helping to translate that energy that I'm feeling into word, sounds, pictures, and even like simulated interaction between people in my mind, like actual dreaming. It's like controlled lucid dreaming. I don't know if that's actually the definition of lucid dreaming, but it seems like that's what I was doing, is to translate that energy into visuals and feelings in my mind, like assigning a style for the meditation center. It's like, it feels like right now, it feels like it's Napa country chic. It's not your typical Zen meditation room with tatamis, where a Chinese sort of a vipassana meditation room with hardwood floors, or in other New Thought spiritual churches where it's perhaps some type of luxurious carpet. It's not like that. It's just Napa country chic, whatever that means. It's got that feeling tone to it, where the materials are absolutely modern, and the space is modern, with clean lines, but with sort of a country tone, with country detailing, where it's modern detailing, but country tone. So just these details started to come in and play, and the mind, of course, still sometimes it wants to go to fear, but I think the heart always, at least in meditation, the heart always takes, I don't want to say take over, it doesn't really take over anything, but because it feels so safe, so strong, that I feel secure in playing in that space, in the security of the heart. It feels safe to play in there, and it doesn't feel like there's a pressure to make that happen, which is, I think it's really important, where outside of meditation, when I try to sort of visualize and sort of list what I want and do a visualization board, whatever, when it's all up here, there's a pressure to make it happen from here. But when this is just an instrument, when this is serving the energy and just interpreting the energy that is coming out of here, the quality of what comes out of the visualizations and the feeling tones of the visualizations are very, very different when I'm just, compared to when I'm just allowing this to turn without the participation of this. And I think that's what today's meditation has taught me, is that difference of dreaming from the heart energy and using the mind as a tool to interpret this heart energy. It's like co-creating between the mind and the heart, versus just willing the mind to come up with the greatest idea ever, to come up with the greatest concept ever, and to execute it in the most impeccable way, the most perfect way ever, and feel pressured and feel like I can't do this. That's the difference. With the heart, it's just play, and it doesn't matter if it actually comes true or not. Not to say that it won't, not to say that I won't be following steps, not to say that I'm just purely dreaming and I'm not putting things in action. No, it's not that. It's just because I feel so good dreaming about it and having this conversation, because it feels so good, that I think I'm more likely to, number one, attract what's needed to manifest this dream. So that's attracting. And number two, actually recognizing it when it comes into my life, whatever that is here to aid me. I'm more likely to recognize it because I'm more relaxed. I'm easy about it. There's no pressure. It's just, again, I think this is very similar to what I said yesterday, where when this happens, when this communication happens, like, I'm not very concerned about what actually happens out here, or what gets realized out here, because it's just going to happen. And still, I know the next step for me is go into the Hoffman process and keep cleaning my room. It's just step by step by step. And this didn't happen in the meditation, but it resonates completely with sort of the theme of today's meditation, where I was, after meditation, I wanted some coffee before I started recording, so I got my favorite. Right now, it's my favorite groundwork coffee. This is from the LA area. I always need to, or I actually haven't been. I've never been to one of the cafes down in LA, but I was introduced to it at a breakfast shop near San Diego somewhere, where they serve groundwork coffee, and I fell in love with it. And so I ordered this online, but the point being, I was making coffee today, and I realized, oh my God, they were established in 1990. They were established in my favorite coffee right now is established in 1990, and today we're in 2016. So they have been around for 26 years, and it took 26 years for them to get to me. Like, I'm sure they did not start right away with who, immediately become who they are today. I'm sure they didn't. You don't just go to Z from A. You have 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.3.2.1, 8.3.2.2, 8.3.2.4. It's kind of like that, where just because you're going through the steps doesn't mean you stop dreaming. The dreaming part of it is so important, and this just sort of is a little spark that reminds me, like, not to feel depressed or down when I'm not seeing the manifestations, where I'm not seeing, a, a, a $5 million check for the meditation center. It's for the ideas that ran, the visualizations that ran during the meditation. I sort of wrote them down, as I have a little quick diagrammatic floor plan going on there. And in my mind, I'm just priced it very quickly. This is going to be about in the range of $8 to $10 million in today's market. That's minimum, plus land, plus construction. That's just the hardware part, not counting the soft costs. That's just the hard costs. And I'm like, right, I'm not gonna get handed let's say $10 million. It's just not gonna happen. But is that gonna get me down? Like, if this never happens, should I feel down? And this is something that I'm practicing, to just send it back to the heart. And the heart is just, the heart's right there. Either this happens or not. The heart is right there, supporting this. It's almost like, this is me. I get to be this wherever I go. I get to take this wherever I go. It's like, either this happens in real life or not. I become the space wherever I go. Even if today the cafe is the Peet's Coffee that I go to, that Peet's becomes this cafe. Even if, the rooms right now is, my room. This room becomes that individual room that I'm dreaming about in this moment. Like, I get to take that with me. And that in itself is already very, very satisfying. And so that really, I think that's sort of been the overarching theme that I've been seeing, is to be okay with dreaming big, be okay with dreaming, just allowing the heart to come out and play and come out and play. And the rest takes care of itself. The rest just takes care of itself. And I guess before I close, just giving out thanks again to Dan and Carrie and Kara and Kyle, and just thanking the universe for the synchronicities that came through for me on that last day of Flow Group, where I really felt a tool was given to me to continue this meditation journey, to continue this experimentation within, and just feeling that heartful gratitude towards the Flow Group team and also all the ladies who were there to co-create with me. So just sending my heart out to that. So that was today's meditation.